Hello. You guys having a good time? You're so beautiful. Hello. Thank you very much for having me. What? I like your knees. Hi guys. Wow, you're so beautiful. I'm really happy to be a part of this day today because it's so inspiring. How often do you guys get a chance to sit in a room with 1,000 girls? I know, it's really great. So what'd you think of the videos? Okay, good. Thank you. I'm so happy. So I want to be a part of this today because girls are really important to me, mostly because I was a girl, and I do a lot of work working at understanding the international, state of the girl. I do a lot of traveling, but more than anything, I'm a storyteller. So yes, I worked in much music. I had about 8 years there. And you know what? I just want to share a couple of stories with you guys, hopefully to inspire you a little bit. But if you take nothing from my talk at all, I hope that I will leave you with like 3 things. No big deal, right? Just tiny things. The first thing is that you can change the world. I'm sure you've heard that one already here today. Do you guys believe that? You can change the world? That one's true, but it's kind of conditional. So here's the other part of it. You can change the world, but it is completely imperative that you trust yourself. So that means that number 2 is this piece of wisdom. You are the only person who's ever going to know your truth. That's about intuition. It's about really trusting yourself from this gut place. Do you know what I mean? Shake your head if you do. You kind of do. If you don't, we'll get into it. And the third thing that I want you guys to remember, if you remember nothing else, is that mistakes and challenges are golden gifts that are meant to be cherished. I know, it's hard to believe, right? So you can change the world, you agreed with me. You're the only one who knows your real truth. And the last thing is that mistakes and challenges are like these amazing golden gifts from God to be cherished. So we'll talk a little bit more about all those kinds of things. I feel like the tuition piece is a really big part of it. Like, you've been listening to all these incredible speakers. I mean, Katie and, Girl Talk Empowerment Day and Make Your Mark. All of that is about coming together with all of you because you really are world changers. I mean, that's the idea. You guys want to make your mark, right? Thank you. Just checking to see if you're awake. Yes? So that's the whole point. And you're going to get there. I mean, you're young. You have everything going for you, but there's 2 things that are going to help you get there. You have to know who you are and what you want to do. So put up your hand right now if you know what you want to do with the rest of your life. Put up your hand. Good for you, girls. Okay, now put down your hands. Put up your hand if you have no idea what you want to do. Okay, amazing. Kind of half and half. I think some of you put your hands up twice. That's okay. I'm kind of in both teams, okay? I feel like what I'm going to do for the rest of my life is still evolving, still changing. So the way that you're going to find out, if you don't know what you want to do, don't worry. Because I can help you find what you're going to do for the rest of your life right now. Do you guys want to do it? It's like a really small thing. It takes like 2 seconds. So what you have to do is close your eyes. Don't open them. And think about in your head right now, what do you love most in the entire world? Think about it. Think about it. Don't say it out loud. Someone said food. Me too, but not food and not sleep and not your best friend, even though those people are amazing. Okay, that's it. Open your eyes. Shake it out. Next one. Now you know what you love. Next one. What are you really, close your eyes. What are you really good at? Someone said sleeping. Close your eyes. What are you really good at? Okay. You don't have to say it out loud, girls, but I like that you did. So that's it. This is my point. I'm not saying that this is the easiest thing in the world, but what I am saying to you with complete confidence and what I know to be true is if you spend your life cultivating those two things and finding a way to bring them together, you're gonna be changing the world because that's what you're meant to do. What you're really, really good at and what you really, really love are going to come together to create the most powerful version of you that anyone has ever seen. Ooh. Well, do you love dancing? Well, then you're halfway there. But that's how it goes. Do you guys believe me? I'm telling you right now, that's the way that it goes. So that was the number one piece. That was the number one piece about how you're going to change the world, and I know that you're going to do it. And so the next part is really, really crucial. This one is something that you may or may not have already talked about, but it's that big word that I talked about, that intuition piece. So this comes from the place where I told you that you're the only person who really knows your own personal truth. This is something that I wish people had told me when I was a very young person, and nobody did. So I'm like giving you guys the fast track. And actually, when I was getting ready for this event, I was on the Facebook page for the Make Your Mark, and I actually saw a quote from myself like 7 years ago, which I hadn't thought about in a long time. I'm going to read it to you right now, okay? All right, thank you, girls. This is what I said. This is what my younger self said to myself. I want to reach girls. Especially, I want to tell them that it really is going to get better. I wish someone had told me in the face as a little kid that I shouldn't feel weird if I didn't see myself in my parents, and that learning to trust myself would really be the way to carve out my own path. And that's really true. Thank you. So sweet. In my case, that actually is true, because I don't know any of you actually out there. I hope I'll meet some of you guys today. But the point is that things aren't always the same for everybody, right? We have different challenges, we have different mistakes. We'll talk more about that because, as you know, that's number 3. But our lives are all different. And so for me growing up, I didn't really get along with my parents. I moved out on my own when I was 16. So I kind of raised myself. I did my own thing. And I was like always looking around being like, what do I do? I don't know. It took me a long time to realize that I needed to do some things. I needed to cultivate my own chosen family. I need to make sure I had really great friends. I need to make sure that I was, doing the things that were protecting me, but also nurturing me at the same time. So that's the piece, right? Right after high school, I'm living on my own at that point. I went to the university right away. I was studying English and Women's Studies. I dropped out like a year and a half later. You know why? Because it wasn't the time for me. I had too much going on in my life, but all I wanted to do was fit in, right? I'm not saying you should ever drop out of school, ever. I'm actually back in school again right now. I'm saying for me, though, I needed to heal. I needed to do some different things, make some changes, make sure that my life was very stable. And so that's the work that I did. But we have this, especially when we're young, we have this compulsion to want to be like everybody else, which is normal. You want to make sure that you get in the right university. You want to make sure that you, feel good, feel comfortable. And I think you've heard this again and again on the stage today, and I'll repeat it again here, is that your uniqueness, the things about you that nobody else has, and sometimes nobody understands, are the things that are really going to help you shine, because nobody else has them. So that's a part of it. So I learned painfully, because I made a lot of mistakes, I learned to listen to that place that really told me what I needed. You know what I mean? What I really, really needed. That comes only with practice, unfortunately. But remember, I'm going to tell you guys number 3 again. This is the fast track. And that one is that mistakes and challenges are those golden gifts. Because you are going to experience a lot of mistakes. Put up your hand if you've ever made a mistake. I love you people sitting down there who didn't put up your hand. I love you. You're just like, no mistakes for me. I got this. I want the numbers and names of everybody out there who didn't make any mistakes because I need to learn your ways. So we're always making a lot of mistakes, okay? Say again. Walk straight what? Okay. That's interesting. I think that was a joke, but your metaphor is pretty good. Walking straight is the way not to make any mistakes, right? If you find your path, then you actually are walking in a straight line. But it does take practice. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you're on your way to changing the world and saving the world in whatever way you want to do, those mistakes are going to come. And so are the challenges. And so all you have to do is make sure that you stay focused, because those are the places where you're going to understand who you really are and your vulnerability is going to help you to stay on track. So I'll leave you with one tiny thought. That's one of my favorites that I go back to and back to again. So here it is. It's a famous quote. Steve Jobs. Have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow already know exactly what you're meant to do. Thank you.